Well, I think that, part of the context of this convention is really, we have the unusual circumstance of a former president being nominated for another presidential run. And so, that's going to be the backdrop of this convention. You also have the circumstance of a nominee who was once an outsider in his party, who came in and successfully, essentially took over his party. This is Donald Trump's Republican Party. When he was first nominated in 2016, part of the drama of that convention was that takeover wasn't complete. It was far from complete. In fact, there were a lot of, visible Republicans. There were members of state delegations. There were other candidates who lost to him, who were not, who hadn't reached a stage of total acceptance of Donald Trump as their nominee. And so you had this kind of friction, this struggle playing out in terms of, the future of the Republican Party. And now this is Donald Trump's party. It's going to be his convention. And I think the effort will be to just sort of present the party in his image. It's always interesting to see, how much the messaging of a convention is directed at the party base and how much of it is directed at swing voters. A lot of it is directed at the party base. I mean, that's the audience in the room for this convention. And the convention is also intended to mobilize members outside the room, partisan voters. In this case, loyal Republican voters. The convention is very much in large part aimed at them, but there's also, has to be some component of the convention which is designed to kind of send a broader message, to kind of fashion a broader appeal. And it's going to be very interesting in the case of this convention, where Donald Trump is a figure that mobilizes a lot of Republican voters, but there's a significant minority in his own party that, resisted his nomination and that has qualms about him. And then, of course, we know that even though their numbers are diminishing, that those swing voters out there that are left, are going to be decisive in this campaign. So how is he and how is the Republican Party, how do they plan to close the deal with swing voters? And, what is their message about the other party and what is their message about Joe Biden? You're going to hear a lot about that at this convention.